We'll see in a second. Good evening and welcome to Pretty Petty Politics. We are back. This is Winter 26.
I know.
We've been doing this for 8 years now, nearly 8 years. August will be 8 years since we started Pretty Petty Politics. And tonight I am joined by Miss Markia Bordeaux, who is running for Harris County Justice of the Peace, Precinct 7, Place 2. You are the first interview of the season.
Yay, I'm honored. Yay.
Yes, you're the first interview of the season. So before we get started, I just want to ask everyone, as you come into the video, please make sure you like, share, and follow. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. It's important to us that our viewers are subscribers as well. So let's just jump right into it. And we're also live on Instagram.
Yeah, we're doing all the things.
But on her platform, on Instagram. But tonight, let's just get started. Mm-hmm. So welcome to the platform.
Thank you.
I want to ask you the question I ask everybody. Tell me about your first time voting.
Oh, I love talking about this. So I was a sophomore at Prairie View A&M University. It was 2008. So everybody remembers the 2008 election with President Barack Obama, but at the time he was a candidate. And so this is my first time voting. Didn't really know anything about politics. You know, I'm a young person. I'm just in school, really turning up, having a good time. And I just remember there was a lot of people coming to the Memorial Student Center, which is like where we all like kind of congregate, and seeing like all the Deltas, all the AKAs, Alphas, everybody, all the alumni coming back. And we're like, what is going on? They're like, it's election night. And mind you, we were registered to vote. And Prairie View has a long history of being the votes being disenfranchised as students on campus. So Waller County has this whole thing going on. There was a Supreme Court case. It was a whole thing. Right. So that year, Prairie View was a polling location. So we remember everybody was coming in, they were voting. We were preparing for election night. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll go in, we'll vote, whatever. And then we like learned who the candidates were like on the spot. And I'm so ashamed to say that, but you know, again, 19 years old.
Do that all the time.
Yeah, 19 years old. But I just remember when people were telling us about Barack Obama and like he's a black man and he's from Chicago, in which my family's from there. And I was like, oh, he's got my vote. And, not really thinking about how impactful that moment was. And then, so we voted. And then that night was a watch party at the Student Center and he won. And I remember we turned up like we never turned up. Like we were
so Jeezy was definitely playing.
Oh, absolutely. You already know. My president's black.
Yeah.
But it was such a pivotal moment for me because number one, I'm a student at an HBCU. Mm-hmm. The history of Prairie View and Waller County, having the students' votes disenfranchised, going all the way up to the Supreme Court and winning those cases. Mm-hmm. And that being the night that we elected the first Black president in the United States history, it was just monumental. And I knew from that moment on, like, I was like, I got to be more involved in politics and like really like be at least civically engaged. So that was my first time voting.
That was the first time. So that was 2008?
2008. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So she just told her age, y'all.
I know. Just don't count it. Don't do it.
It's okay. Just keep living. Just keep living. So again, thank you for being here. So 2008, mm-hmm. first time voting. And tell us about your background, because you're not from Houston, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about where you're from and just, give us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I am from Killeen, Texas. Copper Scope is where my house is, but Killeen, Texas. So those that don't know, it's Central Texas, mm-hmm. and it's a military town. So if you live there, you're in the military. So my mom is retired military. She was stationed all over, but by the time I was born, Fort Hood was where she was stationed in Killeen. And grew up there. And I describe Killeen, that area, like if you've seen the movie Friday Night Lights, where mm-hmm. it's just football town, country Texas, but we're like a medium-sized city because it's a huge military base. It's actually the largest military base really in the world. But so Friday Night Lights, the city shuts down. It's like football country, very diverse community. So it's all people, all walks of life, all religion. So that's where I was raised. And then what brought me to Houston was Prairie View. I went to Prairie View undergrad. And I knew, like, living right outside of Houston, of course, we would come to Houston on the weekends and have a blast. And growing up in a small town, there's like nothing like now living in a big city and all the things that Houston has to offer. So I stayed in Houston after graduating with a degree in psychology and social work, started doing social work for the state of Texas. So working with children, parents, families who were involved in the child welfare system. So substance abuse issues, domestic violence, mental health issues, children who have developmental disabilities, all the things. So working with children and families. And then I went to law school, and now I'm in the child protection division. So doing the same type of work, but just on the legal side, at the county attorney's office. And so been in Houston for 15 years, serving in all different capacities, and just very much a Houstonian. Although I wasn't born here, I always say I got here as fast as I could, and I'm like never leaving. So
you sound like the people from up north who say that all the time.
Yeah,
I got here fast as I could.
Got here as fast as I could. Yes. So.
I didn't roll my eyes, but in my head I rolled my eyes. And I'm not from here either, but this is home. But I remember the former Houston Police Department union president. He was from New York, and he used to always say that. The short guy with glasses, I can't think of his name right now. He would always say that. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Because it's just corny to hear him say it. But anyway.
Yeah.
So you've been here 15 years.
Yeah.
What is Houston to you? Just, we love our city. What is Houston to you?
Houston, and I'm not lying, Houston is the best city that, like, in the world. And I've traveled all over. I was a military brat, lived overseas, all of that. Houston is so special because it's just so diverse. There's all types of people from all walks of life. The culture is crazy. The food is amazing. The nightlife is great. We have the best university, Prairie View A&M. I mean, TSU is cool too, but
Prairie View is not in Houston. It's Houston adjacent.
It is. But
don't do Texas Southern.
No, I love
this
TSU.
Platform was birthed from Texas Southern.
I know. I'm in enemy territory, but
you're not in enemy territory per se. But don't do TSU.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But two of the best HBCUs, we'll say that. And Houston is just, it's a cool place to live. It's a cool place to like grow up. I've met so many like amazing people. Some of my best friends live here. Just lifelong relationships, and I'm just proud to be in the city and like contribute in some way to making the city better. So yeah.
Okay. So we first met around 2019, 2020. And we were both working in community. I was working with NAACP, you were working with Urban League. Tell us a bit about your work in the community.
Yeah, a lot of it has been involved in civil rights organizations or legal organizations. So Houston Area Urban League was one of the main ones, of course, involved in a little ways with NAACP, with your committee, specifically the community outreach committee.
Something
like that. Community. So that committee, and then getting involved in the Urban League, and specifically the young professionals, so 21 to 40 years old. Urban League is such a unique organization because it just really cultivates like new leadership as you're kind of progressing through your like professional career. But got involved with the YPs and then served in capacities like civic engagement. So that's the committee that is just boots on the ground, voter registration, voter outreach, going to the, Austin and lobbying, like all the things that go into like civic engagement, essentially. So civic engagement chair, went on to serve as president. We had like a blockbuster year, I will say. When I was president, we won a lot of awards, the National Chapter of Excellence Award for just all the work we did. We doubled our membership, professional development, community outreach, you name it. So super involved in the Urban League. And then, of course, in the legal space, just through, Houston Young Lawyers. I'm president-elect of the Houston Lawyers Association, which I always brag about is the Black Bar of Houston. So HLA was founded in 1952 when Black attorneys couldn't join the Houston Bar Association. Yeah, and so we, of course, created our own space and we made it even better. And so proud to be a member, and it's so historical, the work that's been done over the years, and now serving as president-elect. And I'll take over in June as president. So big shoes to fill with the presidents who've come before me. In terms of politics, I was a former precinct chair. So I was precinct chair of 223, which is Med Center, part of like right by NRG Stadium over there. That's where I used to live. And, serving the party in that way. So again, voter registration, voter outreach, mobilizing the community. And then I was the chair of the subcommittee for the civil rights resolutions. So if the party ever wants to take up any issues that are involving a civil rights issue in the party, It goes through my committee. We review it, we vote on it, and then we come up with a resolution.
You're still in that position now?
No, I had to resign.
Okay.
Yeah, which has been controversial in our race because one of my opponents is still actively serving in the party. But you are supposed to resign from your precinct chair position and your leadership positions. It's a conflict of interest. And so I had to resign. I did resign in December.
This is the pettiest race in Harris County, y'all. Just let me say that it is the pettiest case. Race.
Yeah, we look, we're on pretty petty politics, but but it's just the truth. You do have to resign. There's a conflict. So I resigned in order to run for office.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's a little bit of my background, the work I've done. I'm sure I've missed something, but that's the gist of it.
Okay. So tell me, like, if you had to either three words to describe or a quick summary of, tell us, what is your legacy thus far in the Houston community? Like, what would someone who's never met you but has seen your work, how would they describe your legacy or your brand?
Yeah.
The brand, the type of leader that you are.
Yeah, I would say that I am definitely like an empathetic, compassionate leader. Every space that I've been in and served in and even worked in, being a social worker and now an attorney working in child welfare, everything I've done has been for just the everyday working class, unrepresented, disenfranchised person of Harris County. That's just who I am. That's who I've been. I had a fundraiser a couple months ago and my sister was in town. And she would tell this story of how when we were younger, my mom always would make us kneel before bed and pray. And she told the story, which I forgot about, but how my sister, my mom would make us go around and pray about the one thing that we want to see change. And my sisters would ask for like a new toy or like a new Barbie or whatever the case may be. And I would always pray for people, for nations, for communities that were just being impacted, wars that were going on. Mind you, I'm like, elementary, I don't, but I've seen the news and I felt it in my spirit. And so I felt like that's who I am. Like God made me into someone who just cares deeply, feels very deeply about people. And so my life journey has led me to this point of just like service in all capacities.
Baby, she went all the way around the city. She went all the way around the Beltway with that answer to tell us service.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word. She went around the Beltway.
Yeah.
We passed a bunch of exits.
I did, because you did say a short statement. I did an essay.
Politician. Politician.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have a question, and you're welcome. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Jamal. I was talking about Joe Grimaldi. I could not think of his name.
Yeah.
Can you name some of the previous chairs or presidents of HLA without naming the members of Congress?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, our current president is Alon Moore Jones, phenomenal leader. She just became a member of AKA. I don't know if you met her, so I got to introduce y'all. Tracy A. Gibson, running for Harris County Democratic Party chair. She is someone who came in and literally flipped HLA into like a whole new organization. I was her corresponding secretary. She put your girl to work. And
that's when I got my membership.
Yes. Yeah. Danny Norris is another one who is currently running for a House district seat. I don't want to lie and say which one because I can't remember.
I think it's 140.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
It's up there. Danny Norris. I mean, and then I know you said don't name anyone, but Barbara Jordan.
I'm gonna name them.
Okay, let me let her say it. Who else? Aljanita Scott, she's a big one, very involved in politics, very involved in the Black community. And one of the most important to me is Robert Hainsworth. He is one of our founders. And if you've ever gone to the Harris County Law Library downtown at 1019 Congress, it is named after Robert Hainsworth. So he founded Houston Lawyers, but he was one of the most pivotal Black attorneys in Houston. He helps desegregate the Harris County Law Library, literally, as well as the cafeteria in Harris County where Black attorneys couldn't sit down and eat food. So Hainsworth, for sure, I got a shot.
What's his first name?
Robert
Hainsworth.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do a Black History moment for him.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll have to do a Black History moment. And thank you for that question, Mr. Bryant. I love Prince. That's my boy. And so the others that we did not name, former members of Congress, starting with the Barbara Jordan.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Barbara Jordan, the late, great Sheila Jackson Lee, may she rest in peace. She was a former President Ron Reynolds is alive, but he is one of our state representatives. He was a former president. Let me think. I don't believe Sylvester Turner was an HLA president, was he?
I think he was.
I feel bad. Like, don't take my presidency from me, y'all. I can't remember, but I feel like Sylvester Turner was a president. If not, he was definitely a very important member.
What about Congressman Washington?
Craig?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's another one. I don't know.
Okay.
Might be.
I'm
scared. I don't know. They're gonna shame me now on the board meeting.
You better know. Alon.
Yeah, get me, girl. But
Alon,
no. And if not, he certainly was. I know he was definitely a pivotal member. And there's definitely more that I'm missing that are trailblazers. But yeah, HLA presidents, there's a long line of just voices, giants. I mean, we always say we stand on the shoulders of giants, but I mean,
those are the giants.
Yeah.
And some of those giants are with us and building today.
Yeah.
Especially my friend Danny Norris, who's running for 142.
Yeah.
Who is a Texas Southern University graduate, Thurgood Marshall School of Law. And of course, she calls me mom. That really bothers me, but Tracy A. Gibson, who is running for Harris County Democratic Party chair. And so vote for Tracy A. Gibson for Harris County Democratic Party chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Vote for Tracy.
Vote.
Okay. So let's get to you, and thank you for sharing that. So I'm gonna jump right into questions because you opened it up. You shared that you are president-elect, and you will take office in June. HLA has done tremendous work, especially during this transitional period as we were coming through last year, 2 years ago now, presidential election year, got us through last year with everything going on with CD18. They were one of the front community groups out front doing the work. And now, as we're going into this primary, they just were a co-partner with the Luke Church last night for the CD18 debate, which had record number of attendees, by the way. It was the largest event for the candidates. It was phenomenal, girl. You should have been there. It was amazing.
I missed it. I was screening. I was doing endorsement screening.
Okay. So doing endorsement
I had to, but I wanted to make it so bad. Yeah.
So HLA has been doing the work. If you win the primary, you will win the general, right?
Yeah, we don't have a Republican challenger. Yeah, so
would you stay on? Would you not resign from HLA?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I would stay on as president. Yeah, so there's not a conflict there as long as you are impartial, right? Like not utilizing your position in a way that's influencing HLA, but people have been judges and politicians and have served and led HLA, but absolutely I would stay on. And to clarify, I would take office for JP in January of next year. Yeah, so the last 6 months of my term is when I would be taking office. So we won't be in a current, I guess, election process during that time. It'll be a legislative year, so that's one of my major priorities for 2027. But yeah, I'll stay on.
How long is the term with HLA?
It's a year.
It's a year. So June to June.
June to June, yeah.
So the first 6 months
will be this year.
Will be in 2026 where you would not be an elected official.
Correct. Yeah.
And then 2027, those 6 months you will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is to push back, because I know it's not a conflict of interest because I did my homework on paper, but you've never been elected official before. Do you think that in running a courtroom, that managing people, that you would not need to really pour your full attention into that new role? Because you will literally, you have people lives in your hand now, and you have throughout your career as a social worker and now as an attorney working with the same population.
Yeah.
But now we're talking about people's housing and all that, because eviction court is real.
Yeah, it is.
Do you not see that as a challenge where you may need to consider, or would you consider taking a step back from HLA so that you could fully devote into this new role?
That's a great question. I would say no. I
Okay.
don't believe that I would need to step down. Number one, the most important thing is having a solid board of directors who are self-sufficient, who are leaders, who are taking ownership of their committees or their roles. So that's one of the things I'm doing now in this new year as we're preparing the transition is, identifying great leaders who are going to serve on the board and like serve the HLA organization. But two, I currently work at the county attorney's office. I'm an assistant county attorney. And I'm one of two attorneys in the Child Protection Court, which is a child welfare court. It's a specialty court, and we have a very high volume docket. So it's very similar to JP. I run my staff. There's 6 of us, and then in the JP court there's 12, so it'll be double. But I was actually moved to this court because of how efficient I am with my docket management, with managing the court staff or managing the county attorney staff. And then being able to like just be efficient in the way that I handle cases. So I'm not worried about my abilities. I know that I'm pretty type A. I'm pretty organized. I know how to do what I'm doing now in a high volume docket court. And you mentioned one thing about the stakes of the cases in the eviction court. Well, in my court, these are parents who are facing termination of parental rights. These are children in foster care, children who are aging out of foster care. So I would say the stakes are super high. When it comes to the outcomes of the cases, and I do a pretty good job,
But you're not the decision maker. Like you're the
the county attorney. We're representing.
So there's no judge.
No. There's a judge, but what I'm saying is I'm the quarterback of the case. So
no, I get that part.
Yeah.
I guess so. What I'm saying is because I don't want listeners to be confused.
Yeah.
We're well versed in government and how government functions, but not all lay people are, right? So when you say in my court, that might make people think, oh, she's already
no. So, and to clarify, I'm assigned to the court. There's 2 attorneys in the court, but in the courts that assistant county attorneys and district attorney ADAs work in, you are managing the cases. You are the quarterback of the show. Yeah. Now the judges, of course, are the ones that are issuing the orders and the rulings. Yeah. But our cases are just, how do I describe it? We're in charge of all the things, whether it's the motion, whether it's getting them set, we're managing the court docket, we're organizing it, we're, timelines, all of that. So it's complex work and it's a high volume court. So it's a lot of moving parts. Part of that is having, again, competent staff. So that's part of coming in as a JP, making sure that the staff you have are, of course, well-trained, well-versed in, customer service, know how to do their job. And one of the things I was talking about the other day in my endorsement with the caucus was, or my interview, hopefully they endorsed me, but one of the things they asked was if I would come in and basically clean house, which I don't have any plans to do that. But of course you want to review like their performance reviews or annual reviews to see if they're competent enough to do the job and have good customer service, because we are serving precinct 7. So it's a whole process, but I feel very confident about my management skills currently and how those are transferable to the JP court.
All right, I'm glad you said that. You keep saying the magic words. You just lead me through my little Q&A.
Love it.
All right, so first, tell me about your management style and your management experience.
Yeah, like as someone who's been managed, or
no, you as managing.
Yeah,
so tell us about your management style and then your management experience.
Yeah, so currently in my role with the as an ACA with the Child Protection Court, we have 6 staff members, so 3 paralegals, 3 legal assistants, and then interns as well, but they don't really count. I mean, we're managing them, but we're making it work. So the goal, what we do, so we have Monday through Thursday, there's a docket. Usually my cases, there's 2 attorneys. I usually handle the Monday, Wednesday docket, and then my colleague Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday is like preparation day. So that's the same thing that would be adopted in the JP court. Currently, there's controversy. I know you've seen it. Docket ain't happening every day. We'll get to that. But Fridays would be our preparation day. So it's reviewing the docket for the following week. What needs to be done? Have notices been sent out? Like, has anybody emailed? Are there issues? Like putting out fires?
It's a preparation day.
Preparation day, yeah. So very I am type A. I'm you have to be as an attorney. Like I mean you don't have to be, but to be a good efficient attorney, especially at the county attorney's office, you have to be pretty efficient. Yeah, I think that plug works.
Yeah. We're gonna keep going.
Technical difficulties. We're gonna get the light going, but
you keep going.
Yeah, so that's the management style. But also, again, like I said with HLA, like having people on your team who are self-sufficient, who are natural leaders, who are go-getters, who are going to get the things done. So that's the things that I'm looking for when I come in as a JP. Are the current clerks people who are competent? Are they getting the job done? Are they responsive? Are they showing up to court? All of those things. So everyone has a role to play. And then the expectation would be that everybody plays that role. So to answer your question, giving people the space to lead in their own way, but being the type of manager or overseer of a court that is like expecting the best of the best, especially with the type of people that we're serving in the court. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So in your management now, are you managing their employment, or are you just managing their day-to-day duties?
Day-to-day. So employment is in Harris County, everything is going through Harris County HR, or with specific to the JP court, the Office of Court Management. So JPs don't make, I mean, you can set, like, you can ask for a budget, you can, how do I say, divvy up the budget, the salaries, all of that, but most of that is handled through Harris County Office of Court Management. So that wouldn't be something that I would need to worry about.
Would you have hiring, firing privileges?
I would say it probably is ran like most other courts and departments within Harris County. I mean, you have like performance reviews is a big one. You have your, PIPs or, performance improvement plans. And then, I would say, I'm pretty sure the judge, if there's somebody that's in the clerk's office or within the clerks that aren't managing the work that they need to do, then of course you could probably recommend someone's termination or maybe demotion. So I would assume and I would hope Harris County would give JPs the authority to do that. I mean, you're the leader of the court.
Right.
Yeah.
So currently, do you do any of that? Like you do the performance reviews?
Absolutely. Yeah. Do the performance reviews, document, which you can't get into the details, but you document the performance. If there's anything that is an issue, of course, that has to go up through like HR, and then the final decision, of course, is, county attorney and the HR manager. But there's a lot of documenting and having conversations, but
I'm trying to understand the depth of your management.
Oh yeah. My team, like the paralegals and legal assistants and interns, they're working directly with me. I'm the boss of that court.
And that's you said 6 individuals?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
So paralegals, then we have legal assistants, and then we have interns. Okay. So usually, like most of the interns are not assigned to our court, but I just ran into one today. I'm gonna put them to work next week. I got things to do. But but I'm blessed. I have really great colleagues. Everybody that works in our office, especially in our court, even our judges and the clerks, and we get along great. And I've always told everyone, like, don't move me anywhere, don't do any changes. Like, we are good. And so that's the thing, just creating an environment where obviously, like, you're the leader, you're the quarterback, but I also don't like micromanaging, because I don't like to be micromanaged. So I'm certainly not going to micromanage anyone. It just makes your job harder. So if you're coming in, you're efficient, you're getting the job done, we can do our thing, and like we'll meet up on Friday and discuss next week. You know what I mean? So it works.
And how long have you been with the county attorney's office?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years, and then interned my whole law school journey. So 3 years.
When did you start with them?
2020. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
So 2020 came on as a law clerk, passed the bar, and then they hired me on immediately. Shout out to Tiffany Reedy. And then in law school, interned the whole time, and then before going into law, I did this type of work. So
on the social work side,
on the
opposite side. So on the advocate, both sides are advocacy. Honestly, I got you.
I
got you. All right. So thank you for that.
Of course.
She kept saying the key time. I was like, well, let's jump right on in it. So I'd said that I put in my notes that you've been practicing for about 5 or 6 years now. So tell us what your legal career has meant to you so far. And then we'll move on from there.
I really, really love what I do. It's such a unique area of the law. So child welfare cases are family law. For those that don't know, there's different areas of practice, but family law, of course, is where there's divorces, and then there's custody issues, or some property cases or issues in there as well, because you have to divide up, the marital property. But child welfare is the specialty part of family law. So it's specific to children and families who are going through the child welfare system. So you're dealing with people who are honestly facing the worst moments of their life. If they have CPS in their life, it means something has happened where there's abuse, neglect, or some allegation of it. And so the type of person you have to be to do this job is like, first and foremost, someone that is just compassionate and empathetic. Like if you don't like people or you don't care about the outcomes of people, this is not the job, because you're dealing with children who are, in this system, and then parents who could possibly lose their parental rights. So you have to care enough about providing services, resources, whatever, to overcome the issue. So it could be domestic violence or substance abuse, but you have to care about those things. And then being trauma informed with how you approach the cases, which is very relatable to JP, because these are the same types of demographic of people that are walking in the court, facing an eviction, facing any type of lawsuit, and they're normal people dealing with normal things that we deal with.
Like getting a speeding ticket on Blodgett.
Yeah. You got a ticket? You got a ticket. Dismiss it, y'all. Dismiss her ticket.
No, Judge Barney #1 did not dismiss it. Anyway.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, so I am so grateful to work in this type of law. And I think when I tell people like the work I do, they don't think that I'm like a litigator. And I want to clear up the record, because there's also been some opponents in this race who say that I've never tried a case. If you know this, if you are an assistant county attorney or a district attorney, you are a classically trained litigator. You are in court. It doesn't matter. But our division specifically is the most litigious division. We are in court all the time. I just finished like a 12-day trial back in December. And I do want to acknowledge that I was awarded the Exceptional Lawyer of the Year for 2025 by our former county attorney, Christian Menifee. So that was given, well, I wasn't at the Christmas party, but it was awarded at the Christmas party that I missed.
And tell me that award again.
Exceptional Lawyer of the Year.
Oh, excellent. For the entire county attorney office. 300
attorneys.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
She ready to get to the petty, y'all. I can't get through my questions like, because somebody alluded to.
I just got to clear it up.
All right, let's get to the petty.
Clear it up.
So what you got to say? Get it off your chest.
No, that was one of them, because it really offended me, because, and I know people say don't let politics, but when you work as hard as we work in our division for the children and families of Harris County, and again, just finished a very intense 12-day trial, and we got the outcome that we wanted, because I've never lost a case. I take that seriously. So I need people to do their research before talking. And just because I'm a young candidate doesn't mean that I won't beat you in court, and I won't beat you in this election. If I didn't think that I could win, I wouldn't have filed that $1,000 to be on this ballot. So yes, I'm younger, but the good thing about Harris County and the Harris County voters is they're ready for new leadership. And so I really believe that on March 3rd, we're going to see a lot of great outcomes for people like me who are running to bring something new to Harris County.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
What else you got to get off your chest?
What else? Well, I was on Darrell's podcast. I know people probably saw it, or they may.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. So one of the things that I am concerned about is the political party affiliations of candidates in this race. Okay. So I'm a lifelong Democrat. I told you about my first time voting for Barack Obama. I've never, voted for a Republican. I've never ran Republican. I'm not MAGA. And why that matters, and I just want the voters to go do their research on all the candidates. So
Melanie Miles has been a part of the Republican Party before. That's who you're talking about.
Yes, yeah. So
baby, you gonna be pretty and petty. You gotta be pretty and petty. You got to name names and call it on out now.
Yeah. So and I know she'll be on tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to how she spins it. But she's ran as a Republican in 2014 when Barack Obama was president. We had a Black president in the White House, and you ran as a Republican. And then 2018 ran again for district court as a Republican, and have been voting. And I want to clarify that 2018 was MAGA. That was Trump. He was elected 2016, and to make the decision to run with a political party that, as we see now, is literally destroying our democracy. I think that the voters should really take that into consideration, especially given the type of work and the type of cases that are in JP 7-2. And so this isn't me being shady. These are facts. So I'm never going to approach it.
I haven't said it wasn't a fact.
These are facts. And I think it's important for, again, the time that we're living in and what we're seeing every day, We just saw a mother being shot in the face by, a vigilante, and I know it's hard and trigger warning, but that is what I'm talking about the state of our democracy. And so when you have candidates that are affiliated with a party that doesn't believe in democracy,
so people don't get to change their mind.
Yeah. Well, you can, but I think that I'm still going to question it, and you still have to account for that and answer for that. Yeah. And I don't think that
I don't think you get away with not being accountable to it, but you do acknowledge people can change their mind.
Oh yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, great, but it's still a concern.
Because I'm from a red county.
Yeah.
It was all Republicans until my mentor, Judge Carla Wright, was appointed by the governor to the courthouse.
Yeah.
They were all Republicans where I grew up. So it wasn't uncommon for Black people to register as a Republican, especially if you wanted to get something done.
Yeah.
But people, people can register how they want to register, but they can vote where they want to vote.
Yeah. And the reality is she was running in Harris County, not
County, Florida. Yeah. Don't do too.
No.
But no, I get what you're saying, but I also know that at this time, I'm watching what's happening amongst voters across the nation at this time in our nation's history, where we're seeing people pivot
absolutely
from one party to the other because of what's happening in this country. So I just want my viewers to understand, because I do have some that are in that other party. Y'all can pivot on over here.
Absolutely.
Come on over.
You can pivot.
You can pivot. But Markia says she's gonna question if you run for office.
And everyone should. Everyone. It's yes, I'm an opponent of hers.
Because our current president used to be a Democratic donor, supporter, and voter.
Yeah. So
of these United States. Go ahead.
Of these, yes. But that's the reality. And so that's why it's important for platforms like this for you to have candidates. You'll have her on tomorrow. Would love to hear her thoughts. But it doesn't mean that you can't be held accountable for your voting record, what you've running for multiple offices, and that's a concern too. Is what we don't.
Do y'all want to debate? Because July organized your debate.
We love it. We was debating yesterday at the labor union. Well, they was, but we do. And shameless plug, we have a candidates forum next week.
I said debate.
Yes, but I'm just throwing out. We have a candidates.
Darrell, hit me up. We're gonna plan a debate. We're gonna plan a precinct 7 place to debate.
Would love that. And it gives people the opportunity to hear from the candidates, and not in a controlled. I mean, you're a tough interviewer, but a controlled setting like this, no, let's have a debate and be accountable for your record or whatever it is that's in your background and stand on it, but I don't know.
Stand on it. Well, Melanie Miles will be with me tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. So you done plugged your opponent during your time. You done talk about your opponent. So 4:30 tomorrow.
And she's been talking
about
me.
We will address these concerns that have been raised tonight. And I'm sure if she's not watching, she'll get noticed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I do want to, while we're on the topic too about other opponents. So this court currently is.
Oh yeah, talk about it. I'm gonna back out of the camera. Talk about it. You take the whole shot.
Got it. So this court is a very unique court situated in Precinct 7. So those that don't know, Precinct 7 is 3rd Ward. It's all the way down to Sunnyside, South Acres, part of Midtown and NRG. And she's back. She's back, but it's a predominantly Black and brown part of Houston, and the data shows that. And let's talk specifically about evictions, because those really are the majority of cases on the docket.
Who's the judge there?
You gotta look her up. I'm not giving free publicity.
You just gave it to Melanie.
You said her name. I just responded. Judge
Sharon Burney.
Yeah. So but the reality is, in this court, JP 7-2. And this is according to Texas Housers. You can go to texashousers.org, I believe, and they're a watchdog group that pulls data on the different JPs. But in this court, there was about 6,000 evictions filed last year. It was double the amount of evictions in Precinct 7, Place 1. Why that is concerning is because that shows that landlords are feeling like they are getting favorable outcomes for JP 7-2 versus 7-1. The data also shows that 99% of the people going through that court are pro se. So those that don't know, that means you don't have an attorney and you probably can't afford one. So not only do you not have an attorney, you're facing some sort of financial crisis like an eviction or a lawsuit. And then there are no resources or services provided in that court. Judge Bernie can say all day, well, I give people resources. You have a sheet of paper that has a list of numbers on it. What resources mean is, and a prime example of that is Judge Dubel in Precinct 1, Place 2. There's a resource hub. There's a room where people, first of all, there's a staff member hired to be in that room and be sort of like a community liaison, that when people are walking in court and they have an issue or whatever the case may be, they're going to that resource hub and they're getting a resource direct referral for whatever their issue is. It's a one-stop shop for whatever the issue is. And so when you have indigent people, meaning they're low income, unrepresented, facing an eviction, facing a financial crisis, and also your default judgment, meaning people who are really tenants facing an eviction, about 50% of those result in a default judgment, meaning they're evicted. So all of these factors are at play. And as the judge, you're not doing anything to mitigate that issue. Mind you, again, predominantly Black and brown part of Houston, situated where TSU is and U of H, and a lot of students are facing evictions and financial crisis. And so it's just a disservice to the community. And after 8 years, if no changes have been implemented, why do we keep electing the same officials that aren't showing up and doing innovative work for the community? That's the question I have. And so that's why I'm running. And I believe I'm the candidate that can bring some innovation and compassion, empathy, and just experience.
So no mitigation in that court at all?
No, like mediation?
Yeah.
So she says that she offers mediation, but it is not something that is highly recommended or also required. So and there are courts, the other courts.
And you said not highly recommended or required. You mean in her court or not highly recommended, period?
And specifically in her court. So there are other JPs that
because we do it over here off North Shepherd.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And been doing it.
Yeah,
off North
been
Shepherd.
doing it. There are several, and
for 20 some years.
And that's just a part of case management, docket management. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
In the court I work in, we're mediating and mitigating cases before they're filed or becoming super contested. You have tools at your disposal like mediation. Harris County has a mediation center where you can literally refer people who can get a mediator and resolve the case, or a neutral party. So if you have all of these evictions being filed, debt claims, lawsuits, why not send people to mediation to work out an agreement? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying people aren't going to be evicted. What I'm saying is
give them a try, like this on Cupid on the radio right now. Give them a try.
Give them a try. It could be, we will evict you. If I'm the landlord, I'll agree to evict you, but I won't put it on your record. I won't put it on your credit. I won't make you, be saddled with $1,000 of debt. Or it could be, okay, we won't evict you today. Let's break it up into payments. Like, there's so many ways that you can get creative with these cases. And it just is mind blowing that it's not happening. And after 8 years, we got to try something different, because the data is very clear that this court has a high number of evictions, high number of default judgments, no resources. And people are constantly complaining, both attorneys and litigants, meaning the people who are coming through the court, who are facing the lawsuit, are complaining about what is happening, in the court. And so
I do have a question.
Yeah.
I just thought about this one, and it's a little petty.
Okay.
And I apologize, but I'm in my 40s, so if I don't say it now, I'll forget.
Yeah.
Any endorsements from current judges for you?
So judges can't endorse.
Oh, okay. Former judges.
No, not any former judges. No
former judges.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of your endorsements.
So we're going through the endorsement process now, and it's insane. It's an insane process, but it's
personal, not organizational. So not like how you just interview the caucus or how HBAD does. I mean, like personal individuals who have endorsed you that have status in the community. Tell us about some of those.
So I think for me,
I'm fishing for a name. I'm trying to see who this person. Perhaps
the ones that publicly endorse, I'm gonna name them, but the most important ones I think for me are the precinct chairs, because precinct chairs are you're like the captain of your your neighborhood.
You're supposed to be.
You're supposed to be, yes. So you're the captain of your neighborhood. You're like the leader for your party. And there's a Republican precinct chairs and there's Democrat precinct chairs, but I'm a Democrat. And so the precinct chairs, I probably have about 10 on my list. I can definitely get that over to you. But there's about 10 precinct chairs who are very knowledgeable of the JP courts, the data. They're everyday people like me. And so they're wanting and they're seeing within Harris County the need for new leadership. And so they're signing on to support me. Some people that you may know, I don't know if you know Rain Eatman. She ran for CD18. She's endorsed me. She is someone who had the courage to run in the CD18 race, which, you know, you got big hitters in there. I mean,
and she's a part of the first cohort of the Houston Civics and Leadership Campaign.
Okay, plug, yes, Rain. So she is someone who has been doing the work for years. I mean, since I got involved in like community work, Rain
was in this space.
I mean, you know, just, you know, she was with District B for a minute, like leading, I think she was like chief of staff leading that office, very involved in Acres Home. I mean, those are the type of leaders that when they endorse you, it matters because she's a young person. She's had the courage to run for office, but she's so connected, you know, in her community. And it meant a lot to me because she's seen kind of the growth that I've had, you know, as a leader. Kendrick Jones is another one. He's the Waller County Commissioner. He's also a Prairie View grad. So it's just, you know, it's automatic. But he is someone who is a young person who's in Red County, Waller County, you know, a commissioner doing great work out there. And he is just such a phenomenal leader. And he's younger than me, but he's almost been kind of like a mentor.
I got beef with him.
You do?
Go ahead.
Well, you know, I'm not in it. But you know, there's, you know, you chat with Kendrick, let him know. He'll listen. But
Kendrick know why we got beef with him.
Okay.
It's a bunch of us got beef with him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because endorsements, but keep going.
Oh yeah. Okay. And I know that's one of them.
Oh yeah, you know exactly which one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So but he's one of them. And to me, it's with Kendrick, it's more about how he is able to be in a red county, being a young Black man leading in a red county, the work he does with Prairie View students and really just like continuing to like give them opportunities and put them on the map and give back. I'm just, you know, I'm always going to bleed purple and gold. So those are important to me. And then to me, the most important endorsement are the people. So when I am knocking on doors, when I'm phone banking, when I'm talking to people in the community, I'm telling them about my background and the things that I want to do in this court. There's only been, I think, one person who has just been team incumbent. Everyone else has been like, absolutely, like, I want to vote for you. I'm going to vote for you. I support you. Signing up to be volunteers with the campaign. And so to me, that matters when the voters in the community are endorsing you and believing in you. And I hope more of them show up on election day and elect me.
Okay. Any from precinct 7?
The precinct chairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all precinct 7 precinct chairs.
Can you share their names?
I need to check with them to make sure they feel comfortable with that.
It's an endorsement. They endorse, they should feel comfortable, right?
They do, but you know, in the context of this conversation, I wanna respect it. But follow me on Instagram, Markia Bordeaux, at Markia Bordeaux, and all my social media platforms. I'll be rolling out endorsements. There's a few on there already. So well, one of them I've already posted her, Alasia Newman. She is a precinct chair. I don't remember the precinct number. But she is a dedicated precinct chair.
She's in the precinct 7 where she can vote for you.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. And so
I mean, because Rain is way on the north side.
Yeah.
He's way in another county.
Yeah. But Alasia Newman's one of them. And so the important thing too with precinct chairs, and we talk about this all the time, endorsements matter. And Darrell just talked about this actually. Endorsements matter, but it's about how you're going to support the candidate. So you can endorse all day, but are you going to show up and block walk with the candidate? Are you going to phone bank with the candidate? Are you going to contribute to me winning this election? So when I'm looking for endorsements, I'm not looking for just a name that's going to go on a flyer that people recognize, because that doesn't get me anything. So like, are you going to show up?
It might get you more than you think. Yeah. If it's the right names.
Well, a lot of the people that are endorsing, you know, specifically like Judge Bernie, she's an establishment name. She's an establishment Democrat, and
she inherited.
Yeah, and I don't subscribe to endorsements from elected officials in that way. I'm just different. I don't think that those matter in the way that others maybe value that.
Okay.
I value endorsements like, again, precinct chairs, the voters, organizations like the labor unions, because those are everyday working people. And those are the same people that are walking in the courtroom doors. They're 9 to 5, hard workers, may have multiple jobs. And so when you get endorsements from like labor unions, those matter. And so, yeah, Sharon Bernie's going to be endorsed by all the Democrats that want to keep establishment Democrats in office. And I understand the game, but I'm just a young person coming in, and if you don't give me a seat at the table, I'm gonna bring a folding chair.
Folding chair.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about HLA. We didn't really talk a lot about Hall. So we're gonna go back to that. But there's another question. We did cover supervisory roles. All right. So you in Houston Area Urban League. Are you still a member?
Absolutely.
And
I just emailed them today. That's so crazy you asked that, because I'm like, they switched their platform, and I don't want my membership lapsed, and I don't want y'all saying I haven't been a member since 2019, 2018. So I just emailed them today. I was like, how do we renew on this platform? But anyway.
Okay. So tell me about the work that you're doing with the Urban League. I know you've served in leadership as president. You served in various committee capacities, committee leadership capacities. But tell us about what you've been doing with them lately.
So Urban League, specifically like the Houston Area Urban League, no direct like leadership role at this point. Your girl was tired after serving for president and doing a damn good job. But a lot of the work within the Urban League has been with the National Urban League. So I've for the past 2 years, I've been the co-chair of the Legislative Policy Conference. So that is a conference that happens in Washington, D.C. every year, where all the Urban League leaders, mostly those that are involved in like the advocacy committees, they come to DC. It's a policy conference. So, sessions, work out things. But the very last day of Legislative Policy Conference, which is now called Empowerment Summit, we go to Congress and we lobby. So you go directly to your representative or your senator. The National Urban League and Mark Morial come down with like policy platforms or, that we want. And also your CEO. So Judson Robinson, the CEO for Hall, he will come up with like the policy things that we want to advocate for, and then we go to Congress and we lobby.
You do the lobbying.
Yeah. So I was the co-chair of that for the last 2 years, putting on those programs and helping.
But on the national level, but advocating for
issues directly in Houston. Yeah, because the CEOs of your local cities develop the policy.
All right. So this is going to be like a 3-part question, because this is where we met.
Yeah.
We met through your work with Urban League. What have you learned from your leadership with the Houston Area Urban League, YPs, young professionals?
Oh, yeah, so much. Like one of the biggest things that I've learned and lessons that I've learned is everyone is, especially people in leadership, and I'm sure you can attest to this, being, in different organizations, sororities, whatever, is everyone's like in a different leadership space. Like, what I'm trying to say, like a maturity level within your leadership. And so especially when leading the organization, when I was president, that was one of the things I like truly observed, was like, okay, you have a board of like 20 people, but there are going to be people that are go-getters. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to really do a lot of like coaching, because they're going to pick up the ball and they're going to run. And then there are some people who you're just going to have to work directly with. And then there are some people that really want a title maybe, or they just want to be there and maybe take up space, but not really lead or take initiative. And so it's really like balancing all of that, with also me being a very type A person, that I go to work. Like any organization I've been in, any role I'm in, I'm just working. I'm going to do the things. And so having the patience to work with people with different personalities, and then knowing how to navigate all the personalities and like work ethics is a big one. It's translatable to relationships in my work right now with the county attorney. It's been a transferable lesson. And so although in the moment it's intense and you have a big emotions about it, but after the fact, you're like, okay, God put me through that to like really grow as a person. So,
all right. Have you received endorsements from Judson Robinson or any of the leaders?
No, they do not. They don't endorse. I mean, they will like,
personally.
Yeah. No, Judson is someone that's never, he won't endorse. I mean, he may do it privately with some people, but because he's the CEO of a nonprofit, he just is not going to do it. I've never seen it, but again, there may be like behind the scenes ways, but not personally with me.
Okay.
So, but Johnson, I would love your support.
What about Ray? I know Ray has been like, to me, he's Mr. Urban League.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows Ray, loves Ray, and he's doing great things on the national level for the organization. Any endorsement from him or support or phone calls like, hey, I see what you're doing? No.
I mean, and Ray actually ran for this position. I don't know if you remember. In 2018, he unfortunately lost. But he ran, and so I did watch how he ran his race and all of that. So it's definitely inspirational to see a former president, a former like Y peer who, you know, also put their ring in the, you know, their name in the hat, if you will. But I believe with Ray's role as well, he's on the national team now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, have y'all had that conversation about, hey, I did this, you know, if I had to do it again, this is what I would do, wouldn't do?
No.
Okay.
But Ray, call me if you want to give me some tips. Call me.
Call me. All right. I think that's all my questions because I've asked you about your practice, your leadership style and experience, Urban League and HLA. So
you are like Barbara Walters over here. Y'all give her a Oscar, an Emmy, something.
So as we get ready to close out, because you know I'm particular about this time because bedtime.
It's bedtime for real.
My voice is getting raspier.
Yeah.
8:30 is bedtime. Yeah, we're past that.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're
going past your bedtime.
You're fine. So talk to me as we get ready to go into closing. What is it, or not even to me, talk to the audience. What is it that you want to leave the voters who are in precinct 7? What is it that you want to leave them with in your final comments? Yeah.
I would ask the voters to think about your network of people. Think about people who you know who have faced an eviction, who have faced a horrible moment in their life, or maybe they've faced a court case or a lawsuit, and how that outcome impacted them, or maybe impacted you because you're close to that person. So thinking about your, you know, daughter or son who's in college, or your elderly neighbor, or, you know, if you know a single mom who is out there working hard to, you know, working 2 jobs to keep the lights on and the rent paid, think about those people in your life and think about how a judge in a JP court is one of the most important elected positions within your immediate vicinity. CD 18 is a big race. You know, we got the governors on the ballot, the governor's race on the ballot, and, you know, you senators, all the things, but JP is one of those bottom of the ballot races. And people forget about it when it's lower on the ballot. You're just kind of,
we got the longest ballot in the country.
Longest ballot. And I want to plug the League of Women Voters. They're nonpartisan. Go get a voter's guide and go print off your sample ballot before you go vote on election day. But, you know, JP is at the bottom of the ballot. And I think it was Audrey Lawton who was running for Harris County attorney. It was her, someone, and I don't want to misspeak, but I remember them saying the lower on the ballot a race is, the closer it is to your front door. Well, JP is literally at the bottom of the ballot. And so think about those special people in your life and the type of judge that you want on the bench. You want someone who has been working with children, families, and vulnerable communities for the past 15 years. You want someone that has compassion and empathy when interacting with these individuals. You want someone who has worked in a high volume docket case, a courtroom, and has done so efficiently. You want someone with extensive litigation experience who understands rules of civil procedure and rules of evidence and how to put on a case and has never lost a case. Those are all the things that matter when you elect a judge. And I think I'm the only candidate that has that background, has that experience, has an actual plan to do those things, you know, when I'm elected and I take office in January 2027. And so I want to encourage them to, again, research the candidates, go to markiabordeaux.com, learn about me. You can Google me. I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I've done good work in this community. And I'm very excited and, first of all, honored to be on the ballot, but excited to, you know, run this race and hope that the voters, you know, vote for me. So, and also if you want to get involved in my campaign, you can also go to markiabordeaux.com. You can volunteer. We've got a phone bank every Thursday, block walk every Saturday. We'll be ramping those things up. And then of course you can donate too. So you can also go to my website, chip in $10, $20, $50, whatever you have to support, you know, incoming new leadership in Harris County. And I think that we're going to see some really great outcomes in these races coming up. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us
Yeah.
tonight. This is Markia Bordeaux. She will be on the ballot on March 3rd. There are how many people in that race?
There's 3.
It's just 3.
Just 3. There was 4, but she didn't make it.
Okay. I thought it was somebody else.
Yeah,
okay. So they're just 3. Yeah. And I'm interviewing 2. So the second one will be tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. The incumbent I'm not interviewing.
She didn't reach out?
I don't have the bandwidth.
Oh, gotcha.
She petty as hell. No, she did not reach out.
Okay. Yeah.
Perhaps Preston Middleton will interview her.
Okay.
But she did not reach out to Pretty Petty Politics. But prettypettypolitics@gmail.com if you are interested. We have a pretty tight schedule. So you're going to have to submit it quick because I do this. And then I do my community stuff inside community orgs, inside the church. But I do this. This is my legacy.
Yeah.
Then I do legacy work with others.
Yes. Yes, you do.
So what's your legacy word? What's the word?
Service. Remember we talked about it?
I know. I'm asking.
No. I'm saying you helped me. You helped me land
around the beltway.
Yeah, you helped me land the plane. Service.
Okay. All right.
Service for sure. Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck to you on these remaining, I don't know, almost 60 days.
Yeah. Really 30. I mean, early voting.
Early voting 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the 17th is this Saturday. So just about a month away. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, join us at 4:30. Let me just give a quick rundown here of who you can expect on Pretty Petty Politics this season. We have Melanie Mouse tomorrow. We have, I can't think of, Dedrick Wilmer. He's coming up, I think on the 20th, because we had to reschedule him. We have Abby Kamen. Her date is not locked quite in, or we did lock it in, but I can't go through my text right now. But she is locked in for later this month. We have Audrey Lawton. I don't have her date in front of me. I just have my list, y'all. I'm trying to go off my dome. Gina Hanosa. I do know her date. Nice. She's the 22nd, as well as Bobby Cole on the 27th. Those 2 races are really important, or those 2 campaigns, because they're both running for governor of Texas. And it was really important to me to platform both of them so that voters can learn more about them. What is funny is one has a legacy name and is a current elected official representing a state house district. And the other is a farmer from East Texas, Bobby Cole and Gina Hanosa. So I'm really excited to interview both of them. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So that is the 22nd and the 27th for those. His will be at 10 a.m. Hers will be at 7:30 p.m. on the 22nd. His will be at 10 a.m. on the 27th. Also on the 27th, if you have not registered yet, and I will post it on our page, make sure that you register for the community forum at the Luke, which will feature over 60 candidates from throughout Harris County. Mm-hmm. Baby, it's going to be big. Mm-hmm. And if you missed last night's debate, stay tuned. Make sure you follow the Luke, by the way. Next, we have Stacey Childs on the 28th at 2 p.m. We are still not locked in with Marty Langton yet, but we have former Houston Mayor Anise Parker booked for the 4th. We are still waiting on Jamal to confirm that date for me for Letitia Plummer for the 5th. We're still waiting on that. We have Otis Evagaru on the 10th of February, Tracy A. Gibson on the 11th, Daryl Jordan on the 12th, and we'll see what happens with James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett. All right, so that's what you can expect on Pretty Petty Politics. Now, those last 2, I said we'll see what happens. There's no confirmation, none of that, no communication yet, because I'm working on something bigger, so it don't always have to be on Pretty Petty Politics if I can work on some other stuff. But anyway, good night, y'all. Thank you so much, and thank you. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
See y'all next time on Pretty Petty Politics tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. And it won't close.